On Global TV News Prime, President Bola Tinubu joins Muslim faithfuls at the National Eid Prayer Ground, Abuja, to observe the Eid al-Fitr prayers. In business, the pump price of petrol has increased to between 930 naira and 970 naira per litre. On the foreign issue, US President Donald Trump has threatened that Iran will be bombed. And in sports, Arsenal Football Club has confirmed the appointment of Andre Beta as a new sporting director. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276 and free to air on Nigeria's site. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. President Bola Tinubu joined Muslim faithfuls at the National Eid Prayer Ground, Abuja, to observe the Eid al-Fitr prayers that marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan. Tinubu was received by top government officials, religious leaders, and other dignitaries. Samuel Odi completes the story.
Today, millions of Muslims around the world are celebrating Eid al-Fitr, marking the end of Ramadan, the holy month of fasting. President Tinubu called for national unity and progress of the nation.
We should give thanks to Almighty Allah. We saw the beginning, we started together, and we are ending together in good health and in happiness, in prayers for our country, for all our people. We should continue the good deed as taught by the holy month of Ramadan. Care for the vulnerable, the orphans, the less privileged, everything that we have observed. We should not revert to the path that is not acceptable with the teaching of this month. That's what I pray for.
The Vice President Kashim Shettima and Deputy Senate President were at attendance at the National Prayer Ground to observe the Eid prayers. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News.
The Christian Association of Nigeria, 19 northern states, and the Federal Capital Territory has congratulated Muslims on the successful completion of Ramadan and the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. In a statement by the chairman, Reverend John Hayab, and the Secretary General, Bishop Mohammed Naga, Northern Khan highlighted the spiritual significance of Ramadan. The group also expressed grief over the killing of 16 travelers in Uromi, Edo State, describing the incident as a tragic loss to humanity. The Muslim faithfuls in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, have united in their congregation to recite and offer Eid prayers shoulder to shoulder. This is to commemorate the holy month of Ramadan. Felicity Ndere has details.
Allahu Akbar. It is an Islamic holiday marking the end of Ramadan, the month when Muslims fast daily from dawn to sunset. During the prayers, the Imam urged the congregation to increase their worship to God as well as charity deeds, saying that they need to emulate the Holy Prophet Muhammad.
O you Muslims, I advise you and my humble self to fear Allah the Exalted, because that is the commandment given to both the past and present generations. Indeed, we have enjoyed upon those who were given the scripture before you, and you as well, to fear Almighty Allah. That is to follow the injunctions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Speaking with Global TV News, some worshippers thank Allah for the strength, privilege and opportunity to be able to fulfill the demands the holy month of Ramadan brings.
So during this Ramadan fasting, it makes all the Muslims come nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we also pray to our country to live in a peace and harmony.
The whole essence of this holy month of Ramadan, they have a lot of secrets. You pray, God will answer. Anything you know in your mind, you can do it. God will answer it. That is the secret and the take about this holy Ramadan.
Eid prayers usually follows the final day of fasting in Ramadan, and it is celebrated for 3 consecutive days. Typically, it sees gatherings to break the fast. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, Clover TV News.
President Bola Tinubu is hosting his first set of guests for the Eid el-Fitr homage at the Presidential Banquet Hall, State House, Abuja. The guests include some lawmakers representing the Federal Capital Territory at the National Assembly, Area Council's chairperson of the FCT, traditional rulers, leaders of the Christian community and Muslim community, senior judicial officers, among others. The opening prayers were said by the chairman of the FCT chapter of the Association of Christians, Dr. Timothy Amazon, and the Mosque of the National Mosque, Professor Galadansi. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has called on the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and House of Representatives Speaker Tajuddin Abbas to immediately withdraw a bill seeking to impose a 6-month jail term or a fine of 100,000 naira or both on eligible Nigerians who fail to vote in national and state elections. In a letter signed by SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization described the proposed legislation as oppressive and a violation of citizens' rights under the Nigerian Constitution and international human rights law. The 16th Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, has supported the ban on the annual Salah Durbar, emphasizing that the decision was necessary for peace and security in the state. Speaking at an iftar dinner at his palace, Sanusi described the Durbar, an age-old cultural tradition, as non-essential compared to the safety of Kano residents. President Bola Tinubu has given presidential assent to the Investment and Securities Bill, providing for a robust regulatory framework in Nigeria's capital market. According to a statement made available by the Securities and Exchange Commission, the new Investment and Securities Act 2024 repeals the Investment and Securities Act of 2007 and introduces key reforms aimed at boosting investor confidence, strengthening market oversight, and aligning Nigeria's financial markets with global best practices. Commenting on this milestone, the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Dr. Emomotimi Agama, lauded the President's assent as a transformative step for the capital market. Tragedy struck along the Malufashi-Kafur Road in Katsina State as a lone Hummer bus accident resulted in the death of 9 passengers. According to the Katsina State Sector Commander of the FRSC, Aliyu Maji, 9 passengers died on the spot, while 11 others sustained varying degrees of injuries and were rushed to the hospital for treatment. Preliminary investigation has identified speeding and loss of control as the primary factors in the crash. A political pressure group, Action Collective, has called on the President of the Nigerian Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to directly address concerns raised by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, representing Kogi Central, regarding her ability to speak on the Senate floor. The group stated that the issue must not be ignored as both Nigerians and the international community are closely monitoring the situation. In a statement released and signed by its national coordinator, Teddy Onyejuwe, Action Collective criticized what it described as attempts to sidestep the core issue by focusing on political maneuvering. The constituents of Edo South Senatorial District and the human rights community say they have lost confidence in the senator representing the area, Senator Neda Imaswe, over alleged failure, corruption, abuse of office, and betrayal of public trust. The constituents say it has formally initiated the recall of the Labour Party senator and also demanded his prosecution over the circumstances surrounding his alleged disbarment by the New York State Supreme Court in 2010. The group added that given the international nature of these allegations, Interpol's cooperation is necessary to ensure a thorough, independent, and global investigation. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde says his administration has ensured economic stability in the state through the monthly payment of about 24 billion naira in salaries to state and local government workers. Makinde made this known when a delegation of Muslim clerics, traditional rulers, and political office holders visited his Ikolaba, Ibadan residence after Eid el-Fitr prayers at the Agodi Eid ground. According to a statement by his media advisor, Sulaiman Olarinwaju, the governor says his government's commitment to economic expansion had attracted private sector investments to the state. You're watching the live broadcast of the News Prime. When News Prime returns, the pump price of petrol increased to between 930 naira and 970 naira per litre. Details coming shortly after the break. Please stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television. Many thanks for staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Prime. In business, the federal government of Nigeria has launched a credit scheme worth 2.5 billion naira to encourage the conversion of vehicles to use of compressed natural gas, CNG, and the manufacturing of kits. According to a statement by Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, PCNGI, the credit scheme is tagged Credit Access for Light and Mobility. The statement reveals that the initiative is aimed at easing energy and transportation costs in Nigeria. The pump price of petrol has increased to between 930 naira and 970 naira per litre in some parts of Lagos and its outskirts, as against the former price of 865 naira per litre. It was noticed that these prices changes were implemented on Saturday evening, with attendants in some of these filling stations saying that they sold petrol at 865 naira per litre earlier in the day before instructions on the increase. The latest data from the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, reveals that Nigeria's pension fund assets surged to 22.86 trillion naira as of January 31st, 2025, reflecting a 1.55% increase from the 22.512 trillion naira recorded in December 2024. The figures disclosed in PENCOM's January 2025 monthly report obtained underscore the steady growth of the pension sector amid prevailing economic challenges. Nigerian industrialist Aliko Dangote has retained his position as Africa's richest person for the 14th consecutive year, with his fortune surging to $23.9 billion, according to Forbes' 2024 Africa Billionaires List published on Saturday. Fellow Nigerian billionaire Femi Otedola also rejoined the rankings with a net worth of $1.5 billion, while Mike Adenuga secured the fifth spot with $6.1 billion. The latest valuation marks a sharp rise from the $13.9 billion attributed to Dangote last year. Driven by Forbes' inclusion of his newly operational oil refinery, his wealth has now placed him among the top 100 richest individuals globally. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened that Iran will be bombed if it persists in developing nuclear weapons. The president says if they don't make a deal, there will be bombing, also threatening to punish Iran with what he called secondary tariffs. Trump's language represented a sharpening of his comment a few days earlier that if Tehran refused to negotiate a nuclear agreement, bad things are going to happen to Iran. It was not clear whether Trump was threatening bombing by U.S. planes alone or perhaps in an operation coordinated with Israel. China's President Xi Jinping has sent a message of condolence to Myanmar's junta chief a day after a devastating earthquake killed at least 1,000 people. Xi expressed deep sorrow over the destruction and said China is willing to provide Myanmar the needed assistance to support people in affected areas. In his message to junta chief Min Aung Hlaing, China's foreign ministry says in a statement, the 7.7 magnitude quake struck northwest of the central Myanmar city of Sagaing on Friday afternoon, followed minutes later by a 6.7 magnitude aftershock. Rescue teams from around the world are in Myanmar after a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck on Friday, killing 1,700 people in neighboring Thailand. The death toll in Bangkok has risen to 18, with 76 workers missing at a collapsed high-rise under construction. Search and rescue efforts are underway in both countries, as Thailand's Deputy Prime Minister says rescuers have detected signs of life under the rubble at a collapsed building site. In sports, Robert Lewandowski bagged a brace as Barcelona eased to a 4-1 victory over Girona to move 3 points clear at the top of La Liga. After second place, Real Madrid pulled level on points with them on Saturday after beating Leganés. Hansi Flick's side restored the advantage at the Olympic Stadium. Lewandowski responded to Madrid striker Kylian Mbappe's double with one of his own to stay 3 goals ahead in the race for Spain's Golden Boot. Marcus Rashford's first goal for Aston Villa inspired a 3-0 win against Preston that sent his side into the FA Cup semi-finals for the first time in 10 years. Rashford struck twice the second half at Deepdale to end Preston's stubborn resistance before Jacob Ramsey wrapped up Villa's long-awaited return to the last 4. Villa will face Crystal Palace 3-0 winners at Fulham on Saturday in the semi-finals at Wembley on the weekend of April 26 to 27. Arsenal Football Club has confirmed the appointment of Andre Berter as the new sporting director. Berter, a highly respected football executive, arrives at Arsenal after a stellar 12-year tenure at Atletico Madrid, where he played a key role in constructing squads that won 2 La Liga titles. The club says his expertise in squad building and recruitment was instrumental in shaping Diego Simeone's resilient and competitive Atleti sides. As the global news prime comes to an end, let's take a recap of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu joins Muslim faithfuls at the end at the National Eid Prayer Ground, Abuja, to observe Eid al-Fitr prayers. In business, the pump price of petrol has increased to between 930 naira and 970 naira per litre some parts of Lagos and its outskirts against the former price of 865 naira per litre. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened that Iran will be bombed if it persists in developing nuclear weapons. And in sports, Arsenal Football Club has confirmed the appointment of Andre Better as the new sporting director. And that's it on Global TV News Prime. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. You can watch Global TV on DSTV channel 365, on StarTimes channel 276 and free to air on Nightcom's site. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching. See you again.